Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen. I wanted to talk about a few different topics today that I see keep on popping up in my comment section and online. So I want to talk about a few expectations on Star Citizen Alpha 3.20, 3.20. You go, what is this? So Cloud Imperium have talked about this patch a couple of times now. We don't know exactly what's going to be in it, but we can talk about what the expectations for that and what that patch might mean. I also want to talk a little bit about 4.0, what's happening with the PTU at the moment for 3.18, and Cloud Imperium's push for Pyro. So it appears that Alpha 3.20 or 3.20 will be a thing before 4.0, but we don't have much information other than that. Cloud Imperium have mentioned it a couple of times in passing that 3.20 is a thing. It looks like Cloud Imperium are trying to get a good amount of features out before Alpha 4.0, but we don't have any confirmed dates yet, nor do we really 100% know what's going to be in these patches anymore. And we can see by what Cloud Imperium have been talking about recently, we know there's a lot of stuff that they're working on and that they're trying to push. So Alpha 3.19 is planned around or before Fleet Week, which means that that'll be starting the sort of 20th of May Fleet Week. So expect that patch to be live on then, just before then. You can potentially expect them to try and get back to quarterly releases where possible as well. Obviously, with them trying to push what is effectively a 3.18.x patch in the 3.19 wrapper, it does look like they're trying to maybe start to get back to those quarterly releases. I did see a few messages by people, why are you letting them get away with lying with 3.19 and it's just a 3.18 patch? It was like, well, yes, but they can name them whatever they want, and they've said that there's enough features in there to call it a 3.19 patch. It's just built on the 3.18 code base. I don't have a problem with that. I think that's absolutely fine. It's literally just a name, and yeah, that it's more features than a normal point patch would have. But I'm expecting Cloud Imperium to try and get 3.20 out by the end of September or sort of mid-October for CitizenCon now. That sort of makes sense. I had originally thought they were going to run 3.19 for most of the year, which is still a possibility. We'll sort of have to wait and see. 4.0, I do think, is a possibility for the end of December, roughly, as even if that is the plan, Cloud Imperium often get delayed in their deployment of a live build, and sort of like you have a PTU for a while. So what could we see in these 3.20 and 4.0 patches? Well, there's a whole host of things that Cloud Imperium are working on and want to get it in. So there's bounty hunting updates, there's data running, there's Vulcan integration, Arena Commander updates, they're working on building interiors, underground facilities, but there's some really, really big things that Cloud Imperium are looking to potentially get in, at least partially, this year, if possible, already steps towards them, and that's Master Modes, the new sort of SCM versus Nav mode. So this is a big one because this changes the way that sort of ships fly and fight in the verse hugely. You have SCM mode, or sort of the mode that your ship is going to be in when it wants to do combat, wants to have access to its shields, wants to have access to its sort of functions with its mining lasers, things like that. So you've got shields, weapons, all that sort of jazz. But you can't go above SCM speeds. You can't travel super fast, you can't quantum, and then you have nav mode, which you can quantum travel in, you can quantum boost in, which is sort of like a sort of short range quantum travel, and you can go like cruise speed, so you can go well above your SCM speed. However, you don't have access to your shields and weapons. This makes you have to make a big choice about what you do. Now, Cloud Imperium have been working on this for a little while. They keep on sort of tweaking and trying to get some balance to the sort of combat and the way that the combat model works and the way that players engage each other. And this is what they, at least on paper, want to do now. Might not have the whole system in this year, might just have some of it, might not be ready, but it does look like it's something big that they want to push that might turn up in 3.20, could turn up in 4.0. There's a lot of people working on it. We also have the resource management system. Again, a lot of people working on this. This is the circuitry of ships. This is engineering gameplay. This is lots of things. This life support systems. This is relays and life support, gravity, fires breaking out. You having to sort of deal with them. The whole multi-crew experience and those physicalized components all combined. I mean, we know that this is becoming much more reality because Cloud Imperium in 3.19 are putting in the ability to sort of disconnect weapons and components using a gravity tool. Those two sort of pieces of tech, those two sort of sets of features, the master modes, the SAM and nav one, and the resource management system, all together are sort of crucial and core for Star Citizen and Squadron 42. The other thing, the major thing that Cloud Imperium are working on at the moment, and they've been talking about a lot, is Pyro and jump points. Well, Pyro probably more important than just the jump points that get you there. So Cloud Imperium recently talked about in one of their Journey to 4.0 special episodes that they are trying to push Pyro out the door as quickly as possible, meaning that this is prioritized over server meshing. So we could have Pyro come out without server meshing, or with a lighter form of server meshing, or steps towards server meshing. Cloud Imperium haven't shared all the details yet, but this does potentially mean that we don't have to wait for them both to be ready, and they can push Pyro out sooner rather than later. I'm hoping that we see this by the end of the year. It's a possibility. However, this year, 2023, has not been the best year for Star Citizen. 3.18 has had a terrible launch, and that has caused potentially some issues, some knock-on issues. And could that mean that some of these patches are delayed or whatever? Yeah, it's possible. A lot of work has been completed on Pyro, though. A lot of work is coming to an end on Pyro, and we know that Cloud Imperium have a huge focus on it, but we don't know what Cloud Imperium's plans are going to be until later this year for sure. I think that push for Pyro is a good thing, though. Server meshing, yeah, that's mega important, but getting Pyro out before that, if they can, as long as they don't have to spend a load of extra time and development to do that, is only a good thing. Some other stuff that we could see in those patches: ship scale tractor beams, cargo updates, some cargo missions. Cloud Imperium look like they're trying to build out the dynamic universe as well, so sort of the dynamic economy and the way that NPCs fly around and sort of are simulated. The game could also certainly benefit from some network optimization and some AI updates that make use of sort of a more stable and optimized server tick rate. I always have lots of questions. When are we going to see X ship? When are we going to see these capital ships? Whatever. Cloud Imperium are working on them. We don't know exactly when we're going to see like the Idris and Javelin in players' hands in-game properly. We know they're working on things like the Bounty Merchantman at the moment, but also the Polaris, the Argo SRV tractor ship, and many, many more. And I'm looking forward to seeing them in game. The other thing I saw loads of questions about recently was what's happening with 3.18, 3.18.1, 3.18.2. So 3.18.1 and 0.2 are both being run on the PTU at the same time. So they took, for a few days, they took 3.18.1 off and they ran more tests on 3.18.2. At the moment, 3.18.1 and 3.18.2 are on the PTU and ePTU respectively. We should see 3.18.1 deployed to live shortly, hopefully correcting a load of the problems of 3.18 and making it significantly more playable for those people still having trouble, which is a lot of people. 3.18.2 has even more bug fixes and stuff in there, and Cloud Imperium wanted to get 3.18.1 out as quickly as possible, which is why there's now also a 3.18.2. There are full wipes for both of those patches coming up. You're like, why do they need a full wipe for both? Because Cloud Imperium said they do. It's part and parcel of them putting the servers and databases back in good order. But Cloud Imperium have been running sort of dynamic event tests as well with Xenothreat and with Jumptown. 3.18.1 at the moment, they're running a loot generation test at the moment, and 3.18.2 is currently testing Xenothreat. I'm currently playing 3.18.2 where I can on the PTU, just because it seems to be the best build. Boom! I hope you didn't mind me ranting too much, just about sort of talking about questions that were asked in my comment section. Unfortunately, we don't have a huge amount of information on Alpha 3.20 and 4.0 yet. We do know a lot of the features that Cloud Imperium are working on and working towards those, so I thought I'd share and give you a few of my expectations. Take it all with a modicum of salt. But I am really interested to know what you think. What do you think will be in a 3.20 patch? What do you think will be in 4.0? Do you think we'll see Pyro by the end of this year? Do you think we'll see server meshing light by the end of this year as well? Or if we have to wait until next year? Have you been playing in Star Citizen now for 3.18.2 on the PTU? What do you think of that experience? Are you excited that there's going to be some more wipes, or are you just really annoyed, or do you not care? Whatever your thoughts, I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. The Tobii Eye Tracker 5 is on sale until the 19th of April. This gives you native high-precision head and eye tracking in Star Citizen. Very cool for general immersion, for combat both in ship or on foot. They are absolutely fantastic pieces of kit, and both Zin and I have one. Use the links below to grab one for 15% off or to find out more.
Little Nord Riding Hood was on her way to Grandma's house. Upon arriving at her house, she called, "Grandma, are you home?" "Yes,
Yes, dear. I'm on my laptop in bed.
Upon seeing her grandma, she exclaimed, "Oh, Grandma, what long fingers you have!"
Oh, the better to browse the internet, my dear.
"Oh, Grandma, what powerful VPN protection you have!"
Oh, the better to browse safely, my dear.
"Oh, Grandma, what big eyes you have!"
Oh, the better to enjoy my greater access to the sites I want to visit, my dear. But seriously, get NordVPN or I will eat you.
The moral of this story is that there are some great deals on NordVPN, and using it can improve your internet privacy, safety, and give you more access to the content you want to see. Get it from the links below. Every month we have a ship giveaway for April 2023. It's for a Drake Vulture, the light salvage ship. This will enable you to take to the stars, find wrecks and strip them, as well as craft some useful items with its onboard dispensary. It comes with lifetime insurance and a Star Citizen game package as well. All you need to get into the game, and all you have to do to be in for a chance of winning that, is comment on any of my videos made during April. Also, please bear in mind that there are scammers about in YouTube. If you see in the comments below someone trying to get you to go onto Telegram, or someone not using my main account, which is the account I'm making videos on now, then they are a scammer pretending to be me or someone else, and just be safe on YouTubes. If you would like to further support the channel, please consider subscribing. You can become a Patreon, you can use the YouTube join button as well. That goes an extra mile to help support us and enables us to produce Star Citizen content every day. And that's down to you guys helping support us, so genuinely, thank you from the bottom of my little BoredGamer heart.